Welcome to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Halti Martin, the host of this show where we talk about raising funding for your startup and the time it takes to have an espresso. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Halti Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot of startup funding and investing. There are pros and cons to using convertible notes. Startups use them primarily for seed rounds and bridge rounds. They are lower in cost as the documents are simpler than equity term sheets. They avoid setting a price, so they are easier to negotiate. It keeps the cap table simple as they start in debt form and convert to equity later. Downside is that they have few protective provisions found in equity term sheets such as board seats. Valuation is not fixed. A later price round will set it, and there's little control the investor has over it. There are no tax benefits for a qualified small business 1202, which applies only to equity investments. In summary, convertible notes are useful for launching a seed fundraise or even a Series A, as it lets the startup capture interest into the deal while searching for the lead investor. An equity round should be done to set the valuation and provide tax benefits and protective provisions for the investor. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start up something today. Halti Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for the basis of investment decisions.